Hello everyone, it's my pleasure having you once again on this segment on newspaper review in First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Kings Ojalo. We will be looking at all newspaper headlines on all newspaper platforms in Nigeria. Now, we will be starting from Daily Monitor. On the Daily Monitor, we have boldly written, Nigerian would surrender citizens to terrorism masquerading as faith. That is coming from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Tinubu. We also have on the top of that newspaper platform, we have court orders British government to pay £420 million to 21 Enugu coal miners killed by colony masters. I'll take that again. Court orders British government to pay £420 million to 21 Enugu coal miners killed by colonial masters. You find that in page 4 of the Daily Monitor. We also have INEC registers 2 new political parties, one against internal leadership crisis. You find that in page 4 as well. Now, going ahead, FG champions LPG domestication for availability, price stability. You find that in page 5. Now, looking at Akpabio, Electoral Act, Abiribe, 12 senators reform passage to close on e-transmission of results. Find that in page 4 of that newspaper. Now, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, we have boldly written 2027 majority of senators want 3-time result transmission. That is in page 7 of that newspaper platform. Now, looking at the top, U.S. President acknowledged Nigeria First Lady as respected woman. Find that in page 8. We also have 1949 massacre. Court orders UK to pay £420 million to 21 Nigeria families. Now, still on that, in the bottom, we have downstream deregulation delivers 6 trillion naira gain in 9 months. That is coming from MDPRA. Find that in page 19. Still on that, 10,000 drivers to benefit from Lagos government health safety program. You find that in page 10 of that newspaper platform. Now, looking at this, soldiers came 10 hours after terrorists had killed scores, village head says. Now, going to the Daily Sun newspaper. On the Daily Sun, outrage over Senate's rejection of electronic transmission of results. You find that is boldly written on the Daily Sun newspaper. We still have on the top, how Nigeria can move from potential to economic prosperity. That is NRC Chair Zach Adedeji. You find that in page 28 of that newspaper platform. Still ahead, we have Lagos, Osun, Oyo Delta lawmakers to spend 36.28 billion naira on travel in 2026. You find that in page 23 of that newspaper platform. Still on the bottom, 8.61 billion naira lost to fraudulent project in state. That is coming from budget IT. You find that in page 25 of that newspaper platform. Jade IPOB leader Kano appeals live sentence. You find that in page 5 as well. Now, going to the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, UN condemns killing as Turkey pledge support. Boldly written, UN condemns killing as Turkey pledge support. Now, we also have on the top in page 2, Electronic Act, opposition push back as transmission face firestorm. On the bottom right, PDP crisis, Makinde forms as INEC recognized Wike block. Find that in page 37 of that newspaper platform. Respected woman, Trump hails Remi Tinubu at US prayer breakfast. Now, going to the next newspaper platform, which is the Daily Trust. On the Daily Trust, boldly written, we are still burying the dead inside Kwara massacre. Now, we still have on that, we were beaten, did not bat for 2 weeks, Kaduna adoptees. Now, still on that, we also have parties now 21 as INEC rejects 2. We also have on that newspaper, Defense Headquarters admit US troop in Nigeria. Now, going to the Nation newspaper, boldly written, terrorists killed Kwara villagers for refusing strange belief. Terrorists killed Kwara villagers for refusing strange belief. That is a very sad one there. Now we also have Remi Tinubu presence at US prayer excites Trumps. We also have INEC obeys court orders on PDP leadership. That is on the top of the Nation newspaper. Now, without not wasting much of our time, let's go to the New Telegraph. For the New Telegraph, boldly written, Electoral Act Amendment. Controversy surrounds Senate's position on e-transmission of polls result. You find that in page 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Still on the New Telegraph, Kwara, Katsina, Benue killings. Northern government, Abbas, Kwakwaso demands decisive action on security. Find that in page 4, 5, and 7 of that newspaper platform. 2027, INEC register 2 new political parties. Says system lack public confidence. You find that in page 2 and 3 of that newspaper platform. Now on the top, Titan Trust Bank, $300 million acquisition of Union Bank violates CBN's policy. Now moving ahead to this day newspaper. On this day newspaper, which will be our last. Now I will be giving you the headlines, which boldly written, opposition wants democracy on the brink over Senate refusal to clearly mandate real-time upload of result. You find that in page 14 of that newspaper. Now on the top, diplomacy, Tinubu plays the Remi card to Trump, Christian pastors soft power. Now, before I go, I will be taking one of the headlines for today that really struck Nigerians. Now, we will be looking at the case of our First Lady, Remi Tinubu, who attended the breakfast meeting in the United States, which excited the mind of the U.S. president and also the minds of Nigeria. We say congratulations to the wife of the president for bringing, at least for once, a good limelight in the faces of Nigeria. I will be leaving you on this segment. Thank you for being with me on Newspaper Review. And also, as usual, my name remains Kings Ojalo. Thanks for having me. It's a bye for now.